Hey YouTube, it's your girl Javina Love back with another video. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you doing, my busy bees? Staying busy, I hope? Keeping it sexy, always. Well, I wanted to come on here and do a look with the Queen palette from Eloise that came in my Boxy Premium. I know you guys seen this palette online, and it is even more beautiful in person than it is online, I swear. I've never been to Palette Back before, so I'm not going to try. But I am going to cover her up to show you. Look at that. Oh, don't you want that all over your body? I do. So let's get started. I know there's swatches out there. There's got to be. I'm sorry that I'm not able to do any swatches for a while. Excuse me, for a while. And that is due to said broken wing. And it has just been really hard. And now I've got a temp cast on it. I put a sock on it to keep it clean because temp casts are, it's mostly just a half a cast on top. And then they put an ace bandage around it until I can get a hard cast, which is a total cast, in 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll be stuck like this for 2 weeks, and then I'll be stuck in a regular cast for 6 months to a year behind a bone that's no bigger than my pinky nail. No way. But that is life, right? So I'm gonna pick a big fluffy brush here. It's not really big. Stop lying to myself, right? Let's get a bigger fluffy brush here. And first off, before we do anything else, before we mess up our face, let's put a little powder down, because you know I'm a powder hoe. And I got to make sure that I don't mess up this look. How are you all doing in YouTube land? How's the world treating you? Better, I hope? Better than it's treating me? I guess, because, you know, sometimes I just feel that the earth is on its side, just thinking about what it can do to me next, right? So I'm gonna dip into Sheba, which is this, I can do finger swatches, right? Which is this little neutral color. That's why it's not showing up very much. And put that as my transition shade. Girl, I know you're clean, so bring on the pigment. There we go. It's the same shade that Glam with Suzanne used as her transition shade, so that's why I'm like all into it. But it's coming off kind of rosy on me when it's supposed to be like a neutral brown. But okay. I'll put that on over. Shall we do a story time? It's been a while since I've done a story of any kind, right? So, we can do, how did I get my name? Cute story. You're not going to believe it. So, how did I get my name? My name came from literally a soap opera. General Hospital. It's been on for years. I know y'all know it. But there was a short-lived character on there named Jovina. And my uncle, who was 13 at the time, really loved this girl. And it was a young girl. So when I was born, and being the first born girl in the family, he was just straight up, Mama, I love that girl. I love that name. She's got to have that name. So my mother was like, all right, that's what you want. I'm going to go into Amenia. I don't know. It's a burgundy color. And she gave that to me as my middle name. But because he kept saying, I love her so much. I love her so much. And he was so cute. And he was a little dancer. It became Jovina Love. And he would call me that. He was about 14, I think, when I was born, actually. They said 13 I was conceived, so 14 I was born. and I was his sidekick. Yep. My uncle, he adored me, and I adored him back so much. I lost him in 2016 to stomach cancer and pancreatic cancer. And I mean, he was an awesome dude. He would dance, and he would break dance like nobody's business. Like, he can pop lock and break dance in his 50s like there was nobody's business, because he did it so much when he was younger. He would do all kinds of different dances in school, and I would be right there center stage to watch him. Especially when Michael Jackson was big in the 80s. That man could make, my uncle could make those same moves, and he would have me mesmerized. Like, there was just like no other man in the world that could do that he could do. I swear. I was just like, that's my uncle. He can do that. And don't challenge me to a dance off, because I'm gonna call my uncle and he's gonna kick your butt. You know, I was that kind of girl. I really was back then, because my uncles did no wrong. You know, and having 5 of them was a lot, but they juggled me very well for at least the first 3 years until the next baby came along, because every 3 years there was a new baby. And so I got my baby experience on super quick. This color, I was hoping it would do that, is the first metallic I'm picking up called Crown, and it's a pink shimmery color. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm putting that on the first 1/3 of my eye without any setting spray or anything. Yeah, he was awesome. Even though he missed my father's daughter dance, because I really wanted to take him with me so that we could kick some butt, I took my uncle that's 2 years older than him instead. Well, actually, he took me, because that uncle could not make it from Stockton to where we lived at the time, in the time frame before the dance. So my uncle, a little older, took me to the father-daughter dance. And oh yeah, my friends wanted to challenge me. They didn't know that that uncle could dance just as good as the other one. I grew up with nothing but dancing or cooking uncles, so, and I have 5 of them to choose from, plus my stepfather, plus my father, plus my grandfather. So they made sure that whatever I wanted, I got. I was kind of a spoiled brat because of my grandmother, because my name means grandma's favorite one, and I made sure that we were inseparable, and to the point where I look just like that woman. I scare her, excuse me, I scare my aunts and uncles, my mother, because sometimes the way I pronounce these things, sometimes the way they come out of my mouth, I sound just like my grandmother. And I love her so much. You don't even know. She's my best friend. And that's how I treat my granddaughter now. When I get on the FaceTiming with my granddaughter, I tell her, hey, best friend, ooh, look at that blue. And she just gets all bright and shiny. I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's your grandma. I'm your best friend. You can tell me anything, and I will not judge you. You tell me whatever you want, as long as you tell me. You know, I want her to feel very comfortable the way I did with my grandmother. So when traumatic events happen, or when I felt I needed something that my parents weren't exactly listening to me about because I couldn't word it right, because you know how we all were as kids. We could not necessarily get the vocab right to what we were trying to say, and it would make us real angry. And my grandmother knew exactly what I was trying to say, when I was going to say it, how I was going to say it. Like, literally, the woman knew everything. Everything. And she would correct them right away and be like, listen to her. Sorry if I'm getting a little teary-eyed, because I'm talking about people that I've lost, but they're also really great. Please forgive me. But my grandmother, she would be everything you needed her to be and more. And she was my best friend. There was no doubt about it. And even though I may have had friends in school that would be like, I thought I was your best friend. You're my best friend from school. This is my best friend for life. And there's a big difference with that. I'm going to deepen up that crease with Majesty, which is the purple, because, you know, we can never not touch a purple. And I'm just deepening it up just a teensy bit, because I really want those other colors to pop, and I want to be able to see the gradients between them before I pull down another color underneath my eye. But yeah, she was my best friend, and will probably be the only person in the world I ever call my best friend like that, because she really, really was. This one's called Honorable. It's kind of a rusty reddish brown. I don't want to look like I got too much burgundy going on under the eye, so I'm just going to bring that down a little bit and smoke it out a little bit. Gotta watch out for my sexy faces before I get monetized. I don't want to be demonetized for too many ooh, ah, you know, faces, because YouTube land be tripping. That came out a little purple, more purple than burgundy. Honestly, these colors in the pan are not coming out the way that you think on the eye. But the pigment is there, so I'm not complaining about that. Yeah, she was. And I always knew it. I always said it when I got older, that my granddaughter will be my best friend. Some way, somehow. Sorry for the nose. That was so disrespectful, I think. But, yeah. And everybody would be like, what are you talking about? Your granddaughter's not supposed to be your best friend. You're supposed to take care of her. I was like, how you know who's supposed to be my best friend? You know? How are you going to tell me who's supposed to be my best friend? Because my friends did nothing but treat me bad and treat me ugly. You know, I got no respect. None. Growing up. You know, my thoughts. So I knew it right off the back. I was like, you're not a friend. You're not a real friend. So it didn't take me long to know that I didn't need those kind of people in my life. I corrected that real quick. And everybody's like, oh, you're a loner. Are you in your books? And I'm just like, and I'm graduating with honors and a 3.9 grade average, damn near 4.0. What are you graduating with? The 2 point something? I mean, I would throw knowledge back in their faces rather than throwing it, you know, you're ugly, so what am I? You know, I didn't want to chew no gum and spit it back in anybody's face like that, but if I was going to cut you, I'm going to cut you. Go ahead and sit on the cabinet, son. Oh yeah, if I was going to cut you with my words, I'm going to cut you where it counts. I'm like, and where will your parents be standing in the stands at graduation time? You know, are they going to be clapping proudly? I mean, I couldn't really talk about that because I didn't make it to graduation. I was in the hospital. But anyways, you know, I would clown them about their grades, because that's the one thing I did have on everybody in my classes, you know, was I was a smart ass, and I was smart, period. So if you ever felt that way, let me know. Because I know for years I would tell my grandma, I'm like, why do I have to read these bigger books? My friends read these little books and it takes them all week, and my teachers would be like, you need a book that you read in class, you need a book that you read because I've taught it to you, or we're working on it. You need a book that is your leisure reading, and you need to learn something new and read the newspaper. Every day. I was 10 to 15 years old. Do you think I want to do that? You wouldn't think so. But honestly, if I could get my grandfather to read the newspaper out loud while I sat there with my Stephen King book, I was there. I was there for it, y'all. I would read everything that teacher told me. Like, I would read the book that she gave us for the month within the first couple days, because I didn't really want to deal with that book anymore. Do my book report, get it out the way, get back on my Stephen King train. Mentioning Stephen King, did y'all know, and I'm sorry I just interrupted myself, I was doing blush out of this palette that we got from the BoxyCharm last month. Did anybody know that they are redoing The Stand. How are you going to touch a book, a TV, adaptation that needed no touching whatsoever? It did not need to be remade whatsoever. It is a beautiful story all by itself. I feel offended. I feel angry. I feel lighter about it now, talking to you guys about it. But honestly, when I first heard about it, my daughter was like, Mom, it's okay. I was like, no, it's not okay. You know, my evil voice came out. I was like, never remake something that is too good to be remade. Like, who in their right mind thought it was okay to touch my favorite book? I mean, that's just like V.C. Andrews and somebody trying to redo Flowers in the Attic. Leave it alone. There are too many people out here that are awesome writers. If you need a writer, I know that there's been writer issues years ago where there was like writers that were on strike, or writers something, but they were doing their thing, but they weren't writing for the shows, so everything was really improv, or they were, they were just there, basically, to be there. I'm going to put a little eyeliner on. I'm not going to put any eyeliner in my waterline because I keep tearing up. But yeah, they had writers. Now we don't have writers because of the writer strike issues back in the day, that everybody feels they can do improv everything, and now there's nobody out there thinking with their big head, so we're not getting new stories. I understand it being redone. That still shouldn't have been touched. I really don't get that. I haven't seen Candyman yet, but most likely that shouldn't have been retouched. I'm just that kind of girl where I feel that if it was perfect the first time, leave it alone. There are some movies that just did not need to be remade. Unless you're going to remake it and totally remake it. Like Jumanji. That was totally remade because it was made into modern day. It wasn't a board game anymore. It's on a computer system, and the kids get sucked into the computer game or whatever it is, video game system, and that's where that goes. That worked out as a good reboot. Oh my goodness. I know it's my allergies plus these fires that we've been having. This isn't from just getting emotional. It's literally because of the fires and where I live. So please forgive me. But I have a bunch of unboxings I want to get through today, and I want to share them with you because I love you. And I want to get these videos, put into place before I have all these other funerals I have to go to. Our memorial services that I'm going to be leaving a Zoom call to. Because I'm not exactly going to be there in person. My son's going to go and stand in for me. Because I don't, and I haven't, since my grandmother passed, gone to a funeral. And I refuse to. There's no reason in the world to tell me that I have to go. Or that you'll make me go. Because it's my body, my choice. I'm not a kid, But I will say my condolences and my goodbyes within a card and within my children. They will always be my backbone. Right there. What do you think, y'all? Not too bad. Not too bad at all for a first time trying it out. I know I can get in deeper and really put some hands on this palette. It is really pretty, and I'm so glad I got it, because compared to the other palettes they had available for BoxyCharm, this one, and I think there's one other one that I was really, like, fingers crossed that I would get it, but this is the one I really wanted, and I'm so glad, because it makes me feel like a queen, baby. And if you liked what you've seen, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, leave me a comment. Let's talk outside of YouTube land. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm always on the Instagram. And I will see you all in the next video. I appreciate you for stopping by and spending some time with me. And I will. See you later. Bye.